Detailed report on Robert Gregory Bowers, federal case. This comprehensive report delves into the federal case of Robert Gregory Bowers, focusing on his crime, evidence, trial, verdict, family reactions, public reactions, the status of the verdict execution in the last 24 hours, and the penalty execution process. The case, stemming from the deadliest antisemitic attack in U.S. history, underscores the complexities of hate crimes and justice systems. As of 8:57 a.m. IST on Saturday, the 17th of May, 2025, this report integrates the latest available information to provide a thorough analysis. Introduction to Robert Gregory Bowers and the crime. Robert Gregory Bowers, born on the 12th of November 1972, is an American white nationalist who perpetrated a horrific act on the 27th of October 2018 at the Tree of Life or Elsasher Congregation Synagogue in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This attack, the deadliest antisemitic incident in U.S. history, resulted in 11 deaths and 6 injuries, targeting worshippers during Shabbat morning services. Bowers' actions were driven by his antisemitic and xenophobic ideologies, which he frequently expressed on social media platforms like Gab, particularly against HIS, Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society, a Jewish organization aiding refugees. The federal prosecution of Bowers highlights the severity of hate-motivated terrorism, culminating in a death sentence that remains under review due to legal and political factors. Details of the crime. On the 27th of October, 2018, at approximately 9:54 a.m. EDT, Bowers, then 46, entered the synagogue at 5898 Wilkins Avenue in Squirrel Hill, armed with a Colt AR-15 semi-automatic rifle and 3 Glock .357 signal semi-automatic pistols. He fired 67 times, killing 11 congregants and wounding 7, including 4 Pittsburgh police officers, 2 critically injured. The attack targeted 3 congregations sharing the building, Tree of Life, New Light, and Dor Hadash. Bowers shouted "All Jews must die" during the rampage, underscoring his motive rooted in white supremacy and Holocaust denial. Police arrived at 9:59 a.m., engaged Bowers in a shootout, and subdued him by 11:08 a.m. after he was shot multiple times. The victims, ranging in age from 54 to 97, included Joyce Feinberg, 75, Richard Gottfried, 65, Rose Malinger, 97, Jerry Rabinowitz, 65, Cecil Rosenthal, 59, David Rosenthal, 54, Bernice Simon, 84, Sylvan Simon, 86, Daniel Stein, 71, Melvin Wax, 87, and Irving Younger, 69. This attack not only devastated families but also struck at the heart of a historic Jewish community, amplifying its national significance. Evidence presented. The prosecution's case against Bowers was robust, relying on physical, testimonial, and digital evidence. Physical evidence: authorities recovered the AR-15 rifle and 3 handguns used in the attack, with ballistic evidence linking them to the crime scene. Shell casings and forensic materials from the synagogue further corroborated the timeline and method of the attack. Testimonial evidence: survivors like Andrea Wedner, who lost her mother, provided harrowing accounts of the shooting. Police officers testified about their confrontation with Bowers, detailing the exchange of gunfire and his eventual surrender. These testimonies highlighted the premeditated nature of the attack. Digital evidence: Bowers' activity on Gab was critical, with posts revealing his antisemitic beliefs and intent. For example, before the attack, he wrote, "I can't sit by and watch my people get slaughtered. Screw your optics, I'm going in," evidencing his plan to commit violence against Jews. These posts were presented as proof of motive and premeditation. Confession: while Bowers did not formally confess, his social media statements and actions during the attack served as implicit admissions of guilt, reinforcing the prosecution's case. This evidence collectively painted a clear picture of a hate-driven, premeditated crime, leaving little doubt about Bowers' responsibility. The trial. Bowers' federal trial commenced on the 30th of May, 2023, following jury selection that began on the 24th of April, 2023, in Pittsburgh. He faced 63 federal charges, including 11 counts of obstruction of free exercise of religious beliefs resulting in death, 11 counts of hate crimes resulting in death, and related firearm offenses. Initially indicted on 29 counts on the 1st of November, 2018, the charges expanded to 44 by the 29th of January, 2019, and ultimately to 63, reflecting the scope of his crimes. State charges, including 36 counts like criminal homicide, were held in abeyance pending the federal trial. Bowers pleaded not guilty on the 1st of November, 2018, with his defense team, including death penalty expert Judy Clark, offering a plea deal for life imprisonment without parole, which prosecutors rejected, seeking the death penalty. Pre-trial motions, such as challenges to the federal death penalty and motions to dismiss charges under the Hate Crimes Prevention Act and Church Arson Prevention Act, were denied between April 2020 and March 2022. The trial proceeded in two phases. Guilt phase, from the 30th of May to the 16th of June, 2023, the prosecution presented 60 witnesses, including survivors, Rabbi Jeffrey Myers, police, and experts on medicine, guns, and computers. Evidence included 9-1-1 call recordings, police body-worn camera footage, and photos of bloodstains and bullet fragments. The defense conceded the killings but questioned specific intent, leading to a guilty verdict on all charges after 5 hours of deliberation over 2 days on the 16th of June, 2023. Penalty phase, beginning the 16th of June, 2023, this phase determined eligibility for the death penalty and the sentence. The defense argued brain damage and mental illness, citing schizophrenia, epilepsy, and a history of suicide attempts, supported by forensic psychologists and neurologists. UPMC physicians, however, found normal brain tests, contradicting defense claims. The prosecution emphasized Bowers' planning and antisemitic motivation, with victim impact statements adding emotional weight. On the 13th of July, 2023, after 2 hours of deliberation, the jury found Bowers eligible for death. On the 2nd of August, 2023, after 2 days of deliberation, they sentenced him to death, formalized by Judge Robert Colville on the 3rd of August, 2023. Verdict. The jury's decision on the 16th of June, 2023, found Bowers guilty on all 63 charges, reflecting the overwhelming evidence. The sentencing phase concluded with a unanimous death penalty recommendation on the 2nd of August, 2023, formalized on the 3rd of August, 2023. Bowers was transferred to USP Terre Haute death row on the 26th of August, 2023. His appeal for a new trial, filed the 2nd of November, 2023, was denied on the 17th of May, 2024. Notably, on the 23rd of December, 2024, President Biden commuted 37 of 40 federal death row inmates' sentences to life without parole, excluding Bowers, Joe Khazanev, and Dylan Roof due to their terrorism/hate-motivated mass murders, underscoring the case's severity. Family reactions. The families of the victims exhibited a spectrum of emotions, reflecting the tragedy's profound impact. Mixed feelings on the death penalty. Some, like Andrea Wedner, supported the death sentence, viewing it as justice, stating, "It is a testament to our justice system, and a message to all, that this type of heinous act will not be tolerated." Others opposed it, preferring life imprisonment on moral grounds, as noted in family statements during the trial. Victim impact statements. During sentencing, family members like Mark Simon, whose parents were killed, and Peg Durico, widow of Dr. Richard Gottfried, shared their grief, with Durico saying, "Your hateful act took my soulmate from me." Michael Hurt, brother-in-law of David and Cecil Rosenthal, confronted Bowers, noting his lack of remorse, saying, "You've never been man enough to look up." Forgiveness and healing. Some expressed forgiveness, emphasizing faith, as seen in statements during Bowers' bond hearing, though many still sought accountability. Community support. The families found solace in community solidarity, with vigils and support from the broader Jewish community, aiding their coping process. These reactions underscore the emotional complexity of seeking justice after such a tragedy. Public reaction. The attack resonated nationally and internationally, prompting widespread condemnation and calls for action. National outcry. Then President Donald Trump visited Pittsburgh, condemning the attack as an act of hatred, calling for unity. Political leaders and religious figures echoed this sentiment, highlighting antisemitism's dangers. Civil rights and religious organizations. The Anti-Defamation League and Southern Poverty Law Center noted the attack as a rise in white nationalism, advocating for combating hate speech and extremism. Gun control debates. The shooting reignited calls for stricter gun laws, with advocates pointing to the AR-15's role, though debates persisted on Second Amendment rights. Online radicalization. Gab's role in radicalizing Bowers led to scrutiny of social media platforms, with calls for better monitoring of hate content. Legislative responses. Post-attack, there were calls for hate crime legislation and enhanced security at religious sites, with some states implementing new measures. Social impact. The attack fostered interfaith dialogue, increased antisemitism education, and highlighted white supremacy dangers, with community efforts like the 10.27 Healing Partnership aiding recovery. Verdict execution, last 24 hours. As of 8:57 a.m. IST on the 17th of May, 2025, Robert Bowers remains on federal death row at USP Terre Haute, Indiana, with no execution reported in the last 24 hours. The federal moratorium on executions, instituted under President Biden, and the lengthy appeals process typical in death penalty cases suggest no imminent execution. On the 23rd of December, 2024, Biden commuted 37 of 40 federal death row inmates' sentences to life without parole, excluding Bowers, Joe Khazanev, and Dylan Roof due to their terrorism/hate-motivated mass murders. Bowers' appeal for a new trial, denied on the 17th of May, 2024, indicates ongoing legal challenges, further delaying execution. Penalty execution. Federal executions are conducted via lethal injection, but the process from sentencing to execution is protracted due to appeals. Bowers' case, sentenced on the 3rd of August, 2023, faces delays from the moratorium and potential Supreme Court reviews. Historically, federal executions are rare, with only 169 between 1927 and 2021, most recent under prior administrations. Given the moratorium and appeals, Bowers may spend decades on death row, if executed at all. Conclusion. Robert Gregory Bowers' case exemplifies the intersection of hate, terrorism, and justice, with profound impacts on victims' families and society. The detailed account here ensures a comprehensive understanding, preserving the memory of the victims and lessons learned. As of the 17th of May, 2025, Bowers remains on death row, with execution unlikely in the near future due to legal and political factors, highlighting ongoing debates on capital punishment and hate crime responses.